Welcome to Maximizing Academic Performance, where you can learn new study skill strategies, techniques, and new learning resources. For today's video, let's talk about how to prepare for final exams. Preparing for tests starts on the very first day of school, doing pre-readings, applying the SQ4 method, participating in class discussions, asking questions for clarification, and writing down legible, understandable, and complete lecture notes. For today, I'm going to give you 14 tips on how to prepare for final exams. Tip number 1. When the big test is announced, get the big picture. Ask your instructor or teacher what the test will cover and what will be the format of the test. Be as detailed and specific as possible in identifying core topics. Just focus on the test and not on the entire course. Tip number 2. Create a realistic study schedule. Focus your time on the most difficult subjects or classes. Study the most difficult subjects or classes when you are most alert and allow for chunking. Allow enough time to study for each of your subject. If you have 4 examinations on the same day, you will need to plan ahead in order to be prepared to take those exams. Create a realistic study schedule in order for you to spread out sessions. And also, it is always better to study for one subject for a few hours, then take a break, and then switch to studying for another subject. Tip number 3. After you have created a review schedule, reorganize your notes. Evaluate and reorganize your notes into what are important, outlining important concepts, formulae, dates, and definitions so that they are easy to understand. Spot what is to be memorized verbatim. Use 3x5 flashcards as a memory practice tool for definitions, short list, and formulae. Tip number 4. Begin reviewing early. This will give your brain time to get comfortable with the information and time for clarification. When you review immediately, you will have time to clarify information with other students. Tip number 5. Space it out. A relatively new learning technique called spaced repetition involves breaking up information into small chunks and reviewing them consistently over a long period of time. Tip number 6. Studying in group. Form a study group with other students in your class and quiz each other on important material. Assign each student to make or to prepare a test question and then teach each other. Tip number 7. During your review, individual or group review, you can create acronyms and acrostics to facilitate remembering and recall. You can draw images or cartoons or sing out the material. You can dance to it or act it out like in a drama to interpret concepts. Tip number 8. Work it out. Get stronger and brainier by doing aerobic exercises. Tip number 9. Capture the concepts. Understanding key concepts and central ideas of the course facilitates recall. Tip number 10. Go for the score. Allot your studying time in proportion to the points on the test. Spend 110% of the time on them. Tip number 11. Never read. Reading the assignments or reading the material takes too long. Instead, scan and study your legible, understandable, and complete lecture notes. Tip number 12. Test taking is a performance. So, practice, practice, practice. And remember the 7 P's of acing the exam. Proper preparation, planning, and practice prevent poor performance. Tip number 13. Practice answering essay questions before the test. Use cognitive questions at all levels to add your learning and ability to answer essay questions. For example, how would you describe, compare, contrast, predict, classify, evaluate, and prioritize your life? The last tip. Tip number 14. Practice by teaching your classmates. Learning by teaching is a method that really works. If you work with a study buddy and explain concepts to one another, you are reinforcing your learning. Hi, this is Robert Dagpin. Thank you so much for watching my video. And for more information, please email robertdagpino7@gmail.com and perisabedo@yahoo.com. And also, please visit these websites. Thank you.